if I'm truly being honest with y'all, one thing I've not been able to stop thinking about is the tariffs. It's like is all I can think about, because all I read about, because it seemed like everybody is like, oh, this is bad. I know people who do not watch the news at all that are like, why is everything red? Did everybody change logos or something? Every time I turn on TV, everything red. What is that? My TV bleeding, something going on. No, in case you have not been aware, in case you're trying to protect yourself and go about your day, there's been a bit of a trade war going on. The wildest thing about a trade war is that you are allowed to, like, okay. I was trying to put this in perspective. Okay, you know how when you were like on the playground and, you know, somebody would be like, my dad can beat up your dad. And you were like, oh, you think your dad can beat up my dad? It's like, yeah, I think my dad can beat up your dad. And then, you know, kid one over here is like, yeah, well, my dad goes to CrossFit. And, you know, kid two is like, yeah, well, my dad has been to jail. Sort of the CrossFit of life. So I bet you my dad can beat up your dad. And then, you know, other kid, CrossFit kid, dad is like, my dad, he has swords. He has swords, so you can try to beat him up, but he'll chop your dad up. And then kid two is like, well, my dad has guns. That's actually why he had to go to the CrossFit of life. It's because he has lots of those. A couple swords too, but he prefers to bring the guns when he has issues. And then, CrossFit, sword, dad, kid is like, yeah, well, my dad is 6'5", so he could definitely beat up your dad. And then, gun, jail. Kid is like, oh, my dad is 5'2", so he has quite a chip on his shoulder. So your dad will be dying, all right? And that's kind of what a trade war is like. You know what I mean? It's like nothing has to happen in the moment, but it is a lot of being behind the desk like, I bet you my economy can beat up your economy. And we know that Trump loves tariffs because even in his first term, he had a lot of tariffs on China for steel and everything. And he campaigned on tariffs and what he thought tariffs would do, at least what he says that they'll do for the U.S. economy in the long run. And so we know that he is serious about the tariffs. I think there were definitely some people that thought that he wasn't serious about the tariffs, and that was a mistake because he was very serious about the tariffs. He was so serious about the tariffs that apparently, now look, I'm gonna do my best here. I am both paraphrasing for the sake of brevity and going off of things that I've read and things that I've been told, and I am not an economist. So I'll do my best job, but I'm telling you, I'm gonna be wrong, okay? But I'm gonna be as close to right as possible on purpose. But apparently this man loves tariffs so much that right when he took office, there were economists, conservative Trump voting Republican economists who, while leaning right, still understand the economy. They still, that's not a dig. I'm saying that the two things can exist together. I'm saying that they understand the economy and they vote the way they vote, but they know the numbers, is what I'm saying. Because I'm not an economist. They understand the economists kind of. So they immediately went to work coming up with tariff plans so that way whenever Trump wanted to enact his tariffs, they would have the numbers ready, right? And so they did all the math and they did all the going back and forth and did all the figuring out that could be figured, you know? And then they went to Trump and he wasn't happy with the plan apparently, because in order to enact the tariffs the way that he wants, the numbers, a lot of them at least, were quite small. So then Trump, paraphrasing, but he was like, what is this 1.7? What is this 2.8, these 2.3, this 0.8? No, we need big numbers. We need to impress the people. You gonna send me out there and embarrass me in front of America? I need big numbers. Get me some big numbers, which apparently is why when he walked out with that poster board, you know that... You saw the board. You know that board that... You saw that poster board. It looked like homework, right? Like that poster board. Yeah, poster board out, and he was going down the line, right? He was going down and just naming places like 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, little bit of jelly donut, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, a little bit of chicken grease. That was not 100, that was a 10, 10, 10, 10, 94. You know, because he hit the world with 10% tariffs. If you were anywhere on earth, you could get this 10. Please don't think you can't get this 10 just because you uninhabited. Anybody can get it. Anybody can get it. Please believe me when I tell you. Anybody can get it. All right? You think you cute because you just got some little aminals on your little island? You still getting it. All right? We don't care. This is America. We do what we do when we feel like it. 10, 10, 10, 34, 10, 10, 10, 10, 78, 10, 10, 10. And it was perplexing. The economists didn't understand it. Top Republicans didn't understand it. Even the people that were in support of Trump and his tariffs couldn't tell you that they really understood it. No one really understood it because there wasn't too much to understand. Everybody who does numbers was like, ooh, this is not numbers. This is not the numbers that I thought it was when I thought They were on like CNBC, basically any money channel, any money news channel. When these tariffs went out, they were on there cursing live. They were like, fine us, we don't care. We're all gonna die. You think I care about $10,000? I'll throw you another couple. The dude who does the bleeps must have had money in the market because he was gone. They were up there cursing live. I couldn't believe it. Normally, you'd even see the blurry mouth. I saw them enunciate the swear words. I was like, okay. This might be bad then. If the people who do money all day are upset and they looking at the red and everything look upside down on the graphs, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to go up like this. Yeah, I mean, you getting a little low. Dow. That Dow Jones was not playing. That Dow Jones was like, hey, I'm dead, y'all. No. Yeah, that S&P 500 was down to 5. It was bad. It's like these were rough moments we were in, and nobody really understood why. We lost $3 trillion of value in the market in a day. People were showing me pictures of the stock market and the S&P and the Dow, and then their portfolio, and I was like, man, we got to pick a different color, because that much red ain't good for your eyes. But yeah, apparently, there were economists that tried to figure out something that would do what Trump said they wanted to do, but he was like, no, I need to go out to the people and really make a statement, and I need to make a statement for the other nations so they take this thing seriously. So, 10, give me some 34s, give me some 55s, I'll take anything, just bring it all to me. And they were like, sir, that isn't math. That may not work, but Trump was so dead set on going to other countries like, you get a tariff, you get a tariff, you get a tariff, like an opposite Oprah, like a reverse Oprah. You get a tariff, you cry and take that tariff, right? And now this part, I hope, is not true. I'm repeating it because I've read it like in 5 different places. It's been told to me 3 different times, but apparently he sort of sent away the plan that the actual economist wrote up, and then he asked someone else to draw up a plan that would do the tariffs truly bigly, right? Like we really making a statement. And in doing that, they did, apparently, I don't want this to be true because it means we're all doomed, but apparently they did ask ChatGPT what to do with which I don't know, I feel like even when they typed that in to ChatGPT, Chat was like, you sure, dog? Which is a fitting bit of irony, though. It is kind of funny to me that like ChatGPT wrote up a formula that was then applied that then tanked the stock of the company that owns ChatGPT. Like that's a beautiful little closed loop. But ChatGPT went ahead and did its thing. They asked him, hey, how can we tariff the whole world and not have everybody die? And ChatGPT was like, I don't know about the die part, but I will get you a little formula real quick. And it went and then it dropped this formula, and that's the same formula that they've been showing. Now this formula, it does have all the components of like a math equation. It's got the parentheses in there, it's got some X and some Y, has a little cursive, it has that little squiggly thing for when you divide it, I think. It has everything that you've ever like looked at a meme about confusion that was coming at you, it's in there. It's all that stuff. All that beautiful mind drawing stuff is what's in the thing. It's got some tops, it's got some bottoms. It's got some other like little symbols rubbing together and everything. But apparently when plugging in any type of numbers into this equation, they still got the math wrong. So no matter if this thing came from ChatGPT or if it came from some mathematic genius, when applied, it was still applied wrong because the tariffs more went towards the tariff amounts more went to trying to reciprocate the amount of money with countries that we had a deficit with than the actual like reciprocal tariff, if that makes sense. Like we applied that thing as if, oh, they're just tariffing us this much, so we're gonna tariff them the same amount. But rather than actually doing that, we were like, here is some math just to make everybody confused real quick, and then we'll actually go ahead and slap a tariff on them for their deficit or for their surplus, which also does not make any sense because then we're both punishing people who buy a lot from us and punishing the people we sell to off the things that we sold them to make things for us, right? So it's basically like being in a bad marriage where like it's like being in a bad marriage where it's like, well, I don't know why you hate me. You married me. Like, I'm just over here being your husband. I don't really get why you so mad at me right now. Ooh, you hate me, but you married me. Anyway. And so that is partially where we landed, which is distressing. That first day, these tariffs get applied, the markets react and everything, and $3 trillion of value is just gone, sort of wiped out in the moment. And then the next day it was worse, because the next day they were like, oh, we still doing it because we can get redder. We can get, oh, we haven't even broke out all the red in the crayon box yet. We can keep getting red. And then there was like another $6 trillion loss, like overtime. But like we were at $6 trillion, I think by like that Friday at 4 p.m. or something. And then we lost money over the weekend, which I didn't even think was possible. I thought the whole point of the market closing was to close. Don't keep counting. That doesn't feel fair to me, to keep counting even though we closed and now I owe more than I owed before. That's not fair at all. But then when Japan opened up and Japan was plunging about 8% on their market, and then our futures were also our futures, you know the future, you know the thing you're supposed to look forward to, that was also looking bleak for us. And then our market opened and the market was like, no, we still dying, dog. I'm not pretending. I'm not gonna pretend to know math. You know what I mean? I've met math. I've been affected by math, for sure. Math rules everything around me, yes. But when I tell you that the reason I don't want to hold like public office, I don't want to do any of that stuff, is because I don't want my math to affect anybody else, because I'm bad at it. I'm bad at math. The only time that my math affects other people's lives is when it's my turn to pay at dinner. And that is a bummer for everyone. That is, you can feel it. Okay. When it's my turn to pay for the check and I'm trying to, in my head, out loud, figure out the tip to then add I gotta divide to do the tip, and then I gotta add the number I just divided and then put that together and put that on the total on the merchant copy, all right? We're all up to speed. We've all been to a restaurant. But watching me do that it instantly feels like when the teacher would make you read in class, but you knew a big word was coming up. You had been trying to sound out this word while the teacher was talking about some other stuff, because you had already counted the paragraphs. The teacher making everybody go one paragraph for paragraph for paragraph, and you like, okay, I'm sitting here, which means I'm 8 paragraphs away. That's my word. Oh no! And so then you trying to sound out the word in your head, but you can't sound out in your head. So you're like, maybe I'm not even sounding out right now because my head is quiet. And then they get to you and it's your turn to read, and you're like reading all good, killing it. You even sounding out the commas. You know what I mean? You see that comma and you go, pause. And then you finally hit that big word and you like, all right. Hey, you old enough now, you don't want to sound like you sounded out, because everybody will think you can't read even though you read half the paragraph with no problem. You did mic drops on those periods. Anytime there was a period in a sentence, you were like, this good textbook right here. What do y'all know about this English lesson, this Chaucer, okay? And then you finally get to the word and you're like, that's a cough. That was a cough. That wasn't even me reading just now. That's and the teacher goes, scrumptious. I was getting to it. Oh. I was getting to it. I was just trying to enjoy the word. I was trying to chew on the word. You the one getting all impatient and stuff. You trying to teach us patience. You're not even patient. That's me. Like, at least the closest I come to ruining everybody's life with math is when it's my turn to pay at dinner and I'm trying to factor out loud the tip, and I'm hearing me try to do math in my head, hearing a grown man say carry the is not gonna inspire confidence in my abilities, right? If I'm sitting there with the, okay, and then you got the two right there, all right? Anytime I gotta do math without a calculator or a pencil, it's a whole conversation. I'm literally sitting there like, all right, so, I'm gonna do 25% because she was killing it, all right? So 25%, that's even better because it's also a quarter. Now I just gotta break this down into 4 parts and then put that line there, right? So now all I gotta do is get you to be still, be still, be still, be still. Stop it. I'm telling a 6 to stop it out loud at the table. Stop moving, all right? So now we gonna carry the 3, and if that 6 will be still, I think we at 9. No, that's up. That's not even division. That's more. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna put a 4 here, and that 4 gonna slide up and trip that 5. Gonna kick the legs up under that 5. And then that's a 1. Why couldn't this be an even number? Why couldn't somebody just order the guacamole like I said? That would have got us closer. Okay, so 7 and 3, that's 10 anyway. So that's 10. So now we know we're gonna have a 2 in there. I know y'all want to go. All right? Get in the car then. Get in the car. I'll follow. Yeah. And then I get embarrassed. And so I just write the total twice. And then I'm like, at least if I tip 100%, nobody could be mad at me. But then I'm sitting there like, can I really afford this? Because then I got to get in the car and do the math in my head of my account. I'm like, all right, so we eating on Sunday, all right? Tomorrow is a business day. It's not going to go through till tomorrow. So if I add a 20 to the account, ooh, I'm overdrafting hard. Oh, I don't know what the number is, but I know that fee gonna hit. We're in a bad way. One of the biggest problems that I think is facing Americans and the country is that we don't have a sort of cohesive identity of care for each other. So, for instance, something could happen to a large swath of Americans, and there'd be other Americans that are like, all right, good, I don't care, whatever. And I'm not saying any country is perfect, and I know that some of the countries I'm mentioning have at least a little bit of a homogeny to them and everything, but whether you're Portuguese, you're Spanish, you're Italian, you're Brazilian, you're Mexican, when something happens and it happens to your countrymen, you see it as happening to your countrymen, because they're all in a country together. They're all like in this thing together. I'm not saying there's not poor and rich and they don't have some of the same problems that we have. I'm not saying that factions haven't split people more than ever before, especially with the internet. I'm just saying that like they can look at a person they don't know and be like, that is my countryman, right? And we haven't had something like that for a long time. There are whole parts of the country that if you put them in a room together, we assume they would fight. We assume that it would come to blows almost immediately, just off of like, hey, do you want to pass the salt? Like, just like not even a political thing, just, it would just happen eventually, you know? And I thought that the connective tissue that we had as a country, what put us together cohesively, was at least like capital. I thought it was at least money. I thought that money would be at least the one thing that made us go, all right, we should all stop and figure this thing out right now. If it's not money, I don't know what it is. Like visiting another country and seeing it doesn't have to be this way is crazy. I'm surprised that's what we're not allowed to do. I'm surprised we're allowed to still travel. Because if you go anywhere else on like planet Earth, and I'm not talking about every place, I'm just saying, there are places that you look around and you'll be like, y'all don't just punch people in the face for being broke? Y'all don't just... Wow, all right, crazy. Going to another country that's like functioning and seeing how they operate is like going to a functional family's house for dinner. Like, it's just, you're just sitting there astonished. You're like, all right. Everybody here? Everybody sitting at the table together? All right. All right. Got mom, got dad, got kids, and invited me over as a guest, and y'all just all smiling. As the dad, you're just sitting there. You're just sitting there asking your kids about their day. Their day at school. What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? You should be abandoning all of them right now. You should be abandoning all of them. You should be going to Vegas and putting it all on black, and then you win. You actually win. You doubled your net worth in a day, and then you put it all on red because you had a feeling, and then you lost it all, and then you're sitting in this casino's cafeteria where there's very nice food, but somehow it's still like a disgusting cafeteria, and you've got these crab legs and these lobster tails in front of you, but you're wondering what you're going to do after tonight because there's nowhere to go because you left home. That's what you should be doing. Not asking your kids, how was school? Like, and then the mom sitting here. Mom sitting here, help dad cook the meal. They cooked it together as a family unit. You know, they didn't just fall into general norms. You know, they figured out that he bakes good and she makes great chicken. So she made the chicken, he baked some bread and everything. And it's all on the table together. They're watching their children eat it for the nourishment of their bodies. Food that they bought through the work that they do. They both work jobs. You have to be a 2-income household now. It can't just be one person working. And so they worked really hard and they bought that food and they cooked that food to the best of their ability. And now it's going to feed their children and give them good nourishment for their bodies. And they don't resent those kids at all. And that's crazy. Like, why aren't you looking at these kids like they ruined everything? Why aren't you telling them what you did before they were born? Like as a dad, you should be telling them, I used to dunk. All right? I used to have a sick vertical. And then, you know, you came along and I was trying to put your car seat in the car and close the door too fast and slam my knee. I'll never jump again. But enjoy your baked goods. Like, that's the type of dad that you should be. Just over here smiling at them, watching them enjoy your bread. Oh, Dad, it's so good. And as the mom, you're over here working a job, cooking as well, and not resenting anyone here. You did a great job cooking rosemary chicken. It's delicious, succulent, not dry at all. How'd you manage that? How'd you manage not to dry it out? The rosemary's perfectly on there, and you shouldn't be here. You should be cheating. You should be cheating to give your kids something to fight against, okay? You want to make your kid a star athlete, you go out there right now and you cheat. You break up this family so that the only solace they can find is baseball, and then they just hit dinger after dinger every game because they're hitting their trauma. And then one day a scout from a good college, a college they couldn't possibly afford because it's not a 2-income household anymore. One of those colleges comes to scout this kid, and they're like, man, that kid's got talent. And we have to get him on this school's team, full ride. He goes from that full ride to AAA minor into the majors. And then one day, they're interviewing him at the end of a game where he's hit the dinger that won them the World Series. And he's like, hey, I don't know where, I'm sorry, I'm getting so emotional. I don't know where, my mom and dad are, but just know that I love you and I hope you're watching. And I did this for you, okay? I did this for you. I love you so much. You should be doing that instead of just helping them with their homework. And the kids are like sitting there, well behaved, which is crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. They're not hitting each other at all. They're not trying to put a fork in the other's temple at all. They're just sitting there enjoying like mom and dad's cooking and everything, laughing at each other's jokes. Hey, I have a joke. Everyone cares. Like it's insane. You're sitting at a table as a family in America. This should not be happening, all right? You know, as the son, you should be sitting there yelling at your dad, give me back my skateboard or I'll kill you. Like that's more our speed, you know? And that's what it feels like to just go to another country and watch them go to the hospital when they need to go to the hospital. Like that's, just watch social safety nets happen and have just like a general care for citizens and stuff. That's what that feels like when it happens. One of the things that makes it so bad is that we have this attitude because of the strength of the dollar and because it is the base of like the world's currency. Everyone compares their currency to the dollar, the strength of their currency, the strength of the dollar, and people would like to be paid in dollars, at least for now. And there's an attitude that we have as Americans that it has to be that way. That we don't know any other way, so it must stay that way. So it really doesn't matter what we do, but it does. It does. All of that belief, all of that standard, with us as a standard, is confidence. And if your partners lose confidence in you, it's not going to be good for you. If your confidence is waning because of moves that have been made and unpredictability, then people will try to figure something else out. That's a little terrifying. I'm not an economist. I don't know how all of it works. I just know that you can only really bully the whole world for so long. Do you know what I mean? There was a flight a couple years ago where on this flight, this dude on the flight stands up mid-flight and is talking wild and reckless. This dude stands up and he's like, I'm gonna kill everybody in here, okay? All right, you're all gonna die. Do you understand me? Every single one of you is gonna bleed and die. And he's making all these weird movements and he is freaking people out and people are stuck in their seats. They're like paused in their seats. There's only one person who's like taking a little bit of cell phone footage of this dude because nobody knows what this dude is gonna do, and he's getting up so confident and he's so scared because I guess he's like a bigger dude as well, and he's like, no, y'all are all gonna die. He's clearly having like some sort of mental episode, but at the same time nobody can know how serious he is or like what his problem is or anything, and people are frozen in their seats, right? And he's like, I'm gonna kill every single one of you. You're all gonna die. I'm gonna crash this plane. And then he tries to get into the cockpit as well. He can't get into the cockpit because that's locked. And finally, this dude goes into, I think it's his back pocket, right? And everybody's expecting a knife, a gun, and this dude has a spoon. And when everyone realized that all he had was a spoon, talking this reckless, they whooped his ass. There was plenty of cell phone footage of that. They were whooping this dude. I know they don't do it on flights anymore because people have allergies, but back in the day, they used to have peanuts on flights. And every once in a while, somebody would open the peanut packet too hard, and the peanuts would go everywhere. They go over the tray table, but then they go in the aisle, and they bounce all down the aisle because the plane was still getting some altitude and everything. And he kind of looked like that peanut. They were passing him around, beating his ass. They were really tossing him back and forth. And then he still had the spoon. Was like, wait. Man, that cracked me up. Wait. Duh. They made that man sound like tennis in there. That man, he was using the spoon a little bit. He was like, man. And people were like, all right, fingers and eyes. There were other people who never got the chance to beat his ass that just watched it with their phones, and you could see them just with the eyes going, ooh, 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 ooh. And then they restrained him, and then they landed. Cops got on the plane like, damn. I thought we were whooping ass. Man, this man tied down to the seat with seatbelts and duct tape and still got the spoon. And then, in the midst of all this turmoil, all this red, Trump tweeted, or, great time to buy. That's the most unserious thing I've ever heard in my life. Honestly, look. Admit it for a second to yourself. You don't have to say it out loud, but just know in your heart, if this was any other country, you would be laughing your ass off at that. That is very, very, very funny. That is so inappropriate and so funny at the same time. It's basically like somebody driving the car towards your car accident going, wee! And then, because we don't have a serious system, because we're not doing things the way that maybe anybody should do them. Somebody from Trump's administration, I'm pretty sure his cabinet, and I don't want to say the wrong name, but just know that they're in his circle. They went on, maybe it was CNBC, it was one of the major news networks, and they were asked by the anchor, hey, do you think there's any possibility that all these tariffs, all this stuff going out is really just to raise the alarm bells, and that there's a possibility of a sort of 90-day situation, just like with Canada and Mexico? And then that guy said, yeah, the president's going to decide what he wants to decide. He's going to do what he wants to do. But then, off of that, you heard me when I said, yeah, the president's going to decide what he's going to do. Yeah, just off that noise, that noise right there. Yeah. Someone clipped that and tweeted the yeah. And then they said that there was about to be a 90-day pause. And then the market went up $3 trillion because we are not really here, I guess. Like, that's one of the craziest things I've ever heard. I knew money wasn't real before, but I didn't know. That's a noise. He didn't even give it a full yeah. Yeah. $3 trillion from right? And then it went back down again because the White House came out and was like, we never said that. And so it dropped all the way back. And then like 2 days later, Trump reversed the reversed the 2 days later, he was like, yeah. They reversed the tariffs, and then the market shot up like $3 trillion again. I'm starting to think the market only understands $3 trillion. And I'm not saying I knew it would happen. If I did, I would have made a lot of money, like some of those people that are potentially going to be investigated because they had calls on the market for 2,000%, and then they very rich. Trump even pointed one out. He was like, "That guy made $9 billion today." Whatever he said. And yeah, I'm just saying, I didn't expect it. I did not expect there to be a ton of follow through in that. I'm just saying that when I'm not saying I believe everything he says. I'm saying I thought he believed what he said when he said it. I thought, look, I'm not saying I believe when he says the thing. I don't know if I believe it. But when anyone says what they say, you would think that they would know if they believe it or don't believe it because they said it, because they're alone in there with their head to say it or not say it, and then to know if they're lying or not lying. But then I was not in his head, so I'm like, I don't know, right? But I thought he would know whether or not he meant what he said anytime he speaks, just for himself, not for us. I understand the man can lie, but this in your head just for you is where I don't think you should be able to fool yourself. I don't think you should be able to trick yourself that way. If you said it, you alone in your head in your room of one should know what you mean when you say it. And I know that doesn't make sense, but it makes as much sense as the tariffs, because it is in his head by himself. So, all right. Yeah. That was the thing. That was the thing. And then he, reversed the tariffs on a bunch of countries, except he increased the tariffs on China because they had increased the tariffs on us in the wake of that thing happening. So then it was really just, my dad can beat up your dad. I didn't forget you from before, so just know that my dad can beat up your dad. And then China was like, you don't, look. China made a statement early into the little tariff trade war where they were like, if the U.S. wants a trade war or any other type of war, we're ready and we'll fight to the end. And that's a lot. That's a lot. I thought we were talking about numbers, and that's another place to take it. And then Trump raised it to like almost 150% on, and this is my thing. I'm not an economist. I don't even know math. But can we at least keep the percents in the 100, please? You know what I mean? Because we're getting into some dangerous territory. The only other place that percents have gone over 100 and has been bad for people in this way is Maury. Maury had people on that were 1,000% sure, and they couldn't have been more wrong. They could not have been more fundamentally incorrect. One of my favorite, in case you're not familiar with Maury, in case you have not been blessed with the afternoon programming, the after school watching that was Maury, there were episodes of Maury. Maybe my favorite episode of all time was white woman, white man, black baby, fraternity episode. That was art. So white woman over here, and she's like, that's his baby, Maury. That's his baby. Why won't he take care of his responsibilities more? Okay, so we dated for a while. We would hook up from time to time, and then we broke up. So I was out. You know what I mean? I saw some people, but that's his baby. Look at it. The baby got a head. He got a head. That's his baby. All right. And then I never thought that I would have to say it this way, but then this poor white man had to, in real time, navigate, making sure everyone understood he was not the father while not saying anything horrifically offensive. And to his credit, he really kept a cool head and did his best. He was like, Okay, look. We all God's children, all right? Okay, and I mean this with no disrespect to the African American gentleman baby or the community at large, but he and I are not kin. And then Maury, who is normally the voice of reason, who you think would have his back, says out loud, you don't think this could be your child? And this man is sitting here like, Maury, don't make me say it. Are you serious? Look at the screen. And then he read it out. He was like, the DNA results are in. He pulls it out of the envelope and he goes, when it comes to the case of 2-year-old Dalmontravius. Mike, you are not the father. And of course she was like, no! And she did 6 backflips and ran outside. And then he went, yeah, I know. Y'all be blessed. And that's my thing. It's like if you're gonna be more than 100% sure, you have to be so sure. You have to be right. You have to be correct. And China came out with a statement. I think it was today. It might have been yesterday. I don't know. I just saw it where they were like, due to the U.S. Tariff raise, we will be raising tariffs 125%, and any other raises the U.S. Will do in retaliation will be inconsequential and will be seen as a joke in the history of economies. And I'm just saying, maybe you don't want to get into a math contest with China. Y'all been fantastic. Thank y'all so much.
Welcome to the Josh Johnson Show. I'm Josh Johnson, joined by my co-host, fellow stand-up comedian Logan Nielsen. Logan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing okay, man. How are you?
I'm all right, but I know that that's a lie.
Jeez.
Yeah. You're not doing all right.
Oh, I thought you said I'm doing all right, but that's a lie.
No.
I'm not.
You're not doing
I'm not
all
doing
right.
great. But do you want me to rant about it again? I can get into it again.
The subject of this week's episode, because I based off of this being our second attempt at recording, I got to thinking last night, and I sort of threw away my idea for yesterday's episode.
Okay.
And I switched over to a new idea that I feel like is more pertinent, more topical.
Okay.
It's of the people. It's what they want. It's what they want to hear about. It is terrible Airbnbs.
Yeah. Because full disclosure, so I'm still in New York, as per last episode.
He is indeed
Still here. This is week 2. I'm going on of a 3-week stint. So I will probably leave here cured of my desire to live here. But we tried recording last night. You came over, but you forgot cords for the soundboard.
So I forgot some cables.
Forgot some cables that are necessary because without them, this doesn't turn on or record. Good. We got We just had an ice cream truck, and now there's just a car alarm going. So this is
There's
sounds in the city, man.
I have a pretty irresponsible neighbor.
Is it the same one every day that goes off?
It's not every day, but it's like too much.
Yeah.
It's to the point now where like it doesn't actually alert anyone. Like sometimes when you hear a car alarm, you're like, is that a carjacking?
Right.
Is that what's happening right now?
Mm-hmm.
And then you hear it and it just becomes like, nah, that's just Tony's car just sort of doing his thing.
But yeah, I'm in this Airbnb. And the last honestly, most Airbnbs I've stayed in have been all right. I've rarely had like a bad experience. I've had some where you're like, but it gets the job done. That car is going.
Yeah.
So sorry.
I mean,
I don't know. They might not even be able to hear it. I have no idea.
They might not be able to hear it, but in case you can, it does take. I've started calling him Tony because it seems like a Tony problem to have.
So this isn't the first time you've called it Tony at all.
No. But it's just funny to me because there'll be some times where it's going for like a while to where I'm like, I think the battery's gonna die.
Yeah. See, I don't know. I can try to boost it. I don't know if that's.
Yeah, I mean maybe they're not
it.
picking it up at all.
But it's try to talk while that's going.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I'm in this. I moved to so me and Jess were together last week. She was in town. Great week, by the way. Maybe we'll get to that later. And then I moved to a different Airbnb because she went back to Iowa, and I'm here. And honestly, when I first got there, it was fine. Like I didn't love that. Like they clearly did some like editing on the photos to make it look like it got way more light than it really did because it is a dungeon. It is.
Yeah.
There is no.
When I came to visit you.
Yeah. What were your thoughts when you came by?
I was like, oh man, I didn't know that you were allowed to like put out an Airbnb, like just offer up an Airbnb and smoke crack. Like it just felt like. It felt like the type of place where you go visit your friend who's going through something, and then you realize your friend's not having a good time. Like it seems like the apartment from a drama where it's like, "What are you doing, Benny?
Yeah,
get it together. All right, you're better than this." And then it's just like because the lights don't make any sense. So the problem with the lights in Logan's Airbnb is that clearly. This place that he's staying in is like a garden apartment, but clearly it was an afterthought.
It's just their basement because there are stairs that go right up, so it is just their basement.
The lights don't make any sense in that the positioning of the light doesn't light enough things.
No,
so there could be lights evenly dispersed throughout the room that, when all turned on, light up the room. Mm-hmm. But to my knowledge. From you showing me, I don't know if you turned everything on at once, but when things were on, they would light up a corner real hot. Like that's the crack corner where you want to make sure you can see yourself.
Well, yeah, because clearly, so like, yeah, there's two switches and one lights up two pretty dim lights on the walls, and those were clearly added later. And maybe they added those, and they're like, fuck, we need another one. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like the way they did the pictures too. Not only did it look super bright, so they probably used a flash. They also clearly did some color correction because it looks like bright daylight, and it is not. It is dingy
in
yellow,
real life.
Grim lighting.
It looks like where Rocky lives between movies. like in Rocky 2, he'll be like, I did it, and then he goes back to this like. Real dungeon of an apartment.
And his eyes are so swollen, it doesn't matter. It's got bad lighting, you know?
Yeah, he's not looking at anything. And then Rocky 3 comes around and they're like, hey, Apollo wants a rematch or whoever's in. Mr. T wants to fight you. Yeah. He's like, I'll do it. And then he leaves the apartment for the whole movie. And then he comes back. And then there's that movie where they're like, Rocky, you're broke. And he's like, oh, well, come see my house. It doesn't even matter. And then...
That's an interesting one, too, because between Rocky 4 and 5, because I believe that movie takes place a couple days after Rocky 4. Mm-hmm. And by the time he gets back, for some reason, he's totally broke and his son is 8 years older. And it's never really explained.
Do you ever get so poor that your
kid grows up?
Your kid grows up really fast. It almost seems like a metaphor, like because when you are poor, you do have to grow up a bit faster because you have to live a bit more life.
But it's also
you have
like
to
no
help.
one's going to help him out. He just brought peace to Russia, and by punching a Russian, that's unprecedented.
Yeah, that's everything that Kennedy was trying to do. Like he did the whole Cold War in like 10 rounds.
But then, so one, it's just dingy, and I think it has like put me in a weird hedspace too. I've been in like a weird mood today.
It has. As soon as I saw you, I was like,
no, because I even told Jess today, I'm like, it kind of took me back to when like I was living alone in a basement unit, and like I was happier then. Like that was okay, but it was just like, I've just been kind of like stressed all day, and one of the other reasons I was stressed all day is because they have a child up there who
we don't know if that's a kid or a dog.
No, because there's both. I've heard both because they also have a dog that got added to the mix today.
You sure that's not just that kid barking?
I mean, if it's a dog, then that dog sometimes speaks in full sentences. So I don't know. Then it's a miracle of science and nature, and I would like to meet this talking dog. But
wouldn't that turn your whole week around?
I would forgive it of everything. I would forgive it of everything. If they're like, oh, sorry, it's our dog. He's energetic and he speaks fluent English. Like, that would be a whole different.
You know how puppies are.
Yeah, they are always talking in words. No, but so they have a child up there who is can run with the force of a grown man. Like he is pounding that floor. Because even Jess was like, maybe it's a baby. You know, babies run hard. I'm like, yeah, but I'm hearing him like speak full sentences, so it's like it's not like a baby.
This is what I think might be happening.
Yeah.
Which, in case you even at home, you the listener, the viewer may not know, the walls in New York are notoriously paper thin in lots of places.
Yeah.
And
the downstairs neighbors here are getting a free live show, right?
Yeah, like our ceilings in New York are also made out of our walls.
Which is why last night when you were there and we were talking and was hearing the running, because this kid is just doing full wind sprints, front of the house, back of the house for 5-6 hours straight, like nonstop.
It would actually be kind of funny if that kid grows up to be an athlete.
That'd be something.
Like if that's the next Usain Bolt and we're complaining about having to listen to him train.
In the documentary, his mom's just like, listen, he got us a lot of bad Airbnb reviews, but he is a champion.
Yeah.
No, but he was running so hard. Remember, I was sitting on the futon, because it's just futon. It's got that Airbnb furniture where it's like they found the thinnest IKEA shit they could get. I don't fault them for that. That's every Airbnb, so whatever. But I was sitting there talking to you, and then I felt something hit my hand, and I looked down, and I swore I saw like a piece of white bounce off, and I was like, was that ceiling that just fell on me? And you were like, that was absolutely ceiling.
Yeah. This thing has happened to a friend of mine before. They stayed in a really bad Airbnb in Chicago. Now, Chicago, I feel like, has great Airbnb. I have not stayed in a bad one while I've been in Chicago because they're just mostly Chicago apartments. And a lot of Chicago apartments are like really, really big.
Oh, I have stayed in one Chicago Airbnb, and that was also clearly someone's basement that afterthought got turned into an apartment, and it was all right. There was at a point, because there's like a doorway that leads upstairs, like straight up their front stairs, so it is like their basement.
Yeah.
And there was a point at night where we thought they were having like a fight. It sounded like we heard like a woman crying. We heard a lot of yelling, and we were like, oh no. And like they seemed nice when we met them. We're like, this seems intense. I think their TV is just like right near that doorway, because eventually we heard music swell with the argument. We're like, oh, we're hearing a movie.
Yeah,
but it sounded so real, because I'm like, I think there's a woman crying right behind that door. I think she came down the stairs to cry.
Do you know what's crazy is when you're just in your Airbnb with your loved one, and then you hear on full volume Marriage Story blasting through.
It might have been
through
that
your
too.
wall.
It might have been.
And just wondering if you need to knock on the door, see if somebody needs help. And then you hear a full crescendo at the end of the fight.
I think even Jess pinpointed what they were watching one time, because it was that, I can't remember the show, but that Netflix show with the lady who's got the Tommy Wiseau accent. I can't remember the
Anna Delvey story?
Anna Delvey thing. I couldn't remember her name. I'm in a weird place today, man. I didn't sleep much last night.
But just the Tommy Wiseau thing is very funny.
Give me your money. Don't worry about it.
Oh man.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Sorry, bank.
Oh, hi, bank. Oh, hi, bank. How's your sex life? No, but there's a point like Jess could hear the accent. She's like, "Oh, they're watching that show, Inventing Anna." Is that what it's called?
Inventing Anna. Yeah.
And she like pinpointed what they were watching, and I was just like, "That means that TV's either too loud or too close to the doors." But you couldn't like really hear it through the ceiling. But the other thing with this Airbnb, sorry, you were talking about Chicago Airbnbs.
Oh no, just a very quick thing. So this Airbnb my friend was staying in was once again paper thin sort of ceiling, and the upstairs neighbors were running around and they clearly had a dog or whatever. And the same thing happened to him, but he was like eating a bowl of Frosted Flakes.
Yeah.
At a certain point when because he stepped away, like went to the bathroom, and then when he came back, he saw around the bowl a couple of paint chips.
Yeah.
And so now he's like, I don't know if this is full of paint chips or not. Like, I don't know. Like, he was like, I bought this cereal and it's like the last, because he'd been staying there for a week.
Yeah.
And he's like, the last bowl of my Frosted Flakes might be half paint chips.
Is it falling into my mouth when I'm sleeping at night?
Yeah. And so he was like, I think I ate so many paint chips in Chicago because I was sleeping and just little pieces of ceiling were just trickling down. Because at first he thought it was
negative
dust.
for COVID, but positive for lead poisoning.
100%. 100%. Just the idea that you're on your last bowl of Frosted Flakes that you love so much, and then you come back, there's just a ring of paint chips around the bowl. It's
challenging.
It must have felt like you know like when you're in a building now and they're like, oh hey, careful, there's asbestos up there.
Yeah.
It must have felt like that because he's like just going to the bathroom, coming back to the table, and then there's just like, and he said that the ring was so perfect that like it felt as if maybe a square of tile had like fallen down. So he knows most of it is in the bowl.
Yeah.
And so now he's like, I didn't see it fall in. Oh. And it's also milk on Frosted Flakes. So he's like, I'm never going to see the chips. Like maybe if I just eat the...
Yeah.
Like
if I just pretend everything's sugar.
Yeah. If I just let it all soak long enough, won't the paint soak out? Like won't the milk kill that paint? He was like trying every way
like
that
in
he
movies
could.
when someone gets cut and they pour milk on it to sanitize.
He was just like, where's the 2%? 2%. Because
don't give me that skim, I'll get gangrene.
Because it was so wild, and he seemed so disappointed. Like even as he was telling me the story, he was looking down.
That would be disappointing, man. No,
Yeah.
And then it's like too. I was just like frustrated, but then I knew we were going to record, so I didn't really want to go anywhere. And like the neighborhood I'm in, there's not a lot around. It's kind of a scant neighborhood, like a couple of convenience stores. So I was like, so I just kind of sat there. I did like a Zoom with Jess, and I just like slowly just got like a genuine like migraine, and just so it's like just a kid running, he was running all day. This kid was trucking all day, and it's like, listen, I'm not for medicating kids, but I'm not against it. And it was my God, I was like, this kid.
What's so wild about that is that in the long term, I wonder, I'm not even saying it is, I just wonder if life is actually fair, because anyone who's doing that to so many people, because this is Airbnb, so I'm imagining people are checking in, checking out all the time. Yeah. Anyone who's making people live through that for like 5 years deserves to kind of not move that great when they get old. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's almost like the circle of life where you're gonna be in a home one day just really pushing a walker.
No, and I spent a lot of time today too, like just looking at hotels. I'm like, I don't need to just waste money, but like I almost want to just move to a hotel, because at least even I've been in hotels, people have been loud, but then you can call the lobby and be like, hey, can someone tell them to shut up? You can't do that when you're in someone's house.
Yeah,
Like,
especially when it's their house.
I'm staying in a stranger's house. That's
Yeah.
them up there. I can't be like, hey, can you tell your kid to fucking chill?
Yeah.
Because the whole point I rented this one is I want to spend a couple days relaxing and working. And I'm
That'd
not
probably
really
be the
doing
craziest
either.
thing that you could do.
It'd be wild.
You just walk up, hey, can you beat him?
I at least want to hear a good trip or something. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah. I'm just saying.
No, so it's like that's just a lot. And then the other thing that is we'll call it challenging was that when I got in there, and first off, so I had to check out from where me and Jess were staying, and then I had like a couple hours before I could check into this one. So I was just kind of out with my bags, and it was like a 20-minute walk from where we were. So I just kind of hung out in a park, and then I was like, all right, it's time to check in. So I walked, but it was, it's a record like heat wave right now.
Yeah.
So I just had my backpack and a roller bag too. By the time I got to my Airbnb, my shirt was sweat. Like I was soaked. And then I get in there and there's no air conditioning.
Ooh.
And honestly, that's my bad. I didn't see that it said no AC on the thing. So that one's not on them.
Yeah.
And it's a basement unit, so it's been okay. It's been muggy, but it's been okay. Like I'm just fine. But then I get in there and then I go into the bathroom and there's a sign above the toilet. And it says, please do not flush. And this is the order they do it in, which was confusing. But it says, just please do not, flush paper towels, toilet paper, or feminine products. And putting toilet paper in the middle.
Yeah,
Made
to
me-
hide it.
Yeah, and it made me like read past it. I had to like read. I'm like, is this saying I can't flush? Period. Like, is this just saying I can't use this toilet? Because then that's got to be in the listing.
Yeah.
And then there was another one by where the toilet paper is, and that one just said, "Don't flush paper towels." It said this like there's an old building, say old pipes, is built in like 19 whatever, and it just says, hey, don't flush these things, but it didn't say toilet paper that time. It's like, okay, are they just saying like, hey, don't be reckless? It's old building, don't have a party. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
And so I messaged them. And I was like, hey, is this saying like never flush toilet paper? And it says use the container provided, but the container provided is just like the little garbage can they have next to them. Like, is it there? Are you just asking me to wipe my ass and keep it? Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking me right now? Is to have a very uncomfortable collection? Because okay, but then you gotta be
It
clear
feels
about
like-
that shit in the listing.
It feels like they're slowly trying to turn you into Jeffrey Dahmer. They're like, hey, you don't use a toilet, and if somebody knocks on the door, you should eat them.
Yeah,
Just you can have friends over if they're not like breathing.
Yeah, and like it's probably great to like wear someone else's head. So like just think about that. Think about those things.
Yeah, just do that stuff and then
Do that stuff and it's fine. And so I messaged them. I was like, "Does this mean never?" And their wording was like, they're like, "Yeah, it's really close to where like the sewage outlet is. So like it may." It doesn't always get to dissolve, the toilet paper, so sometimes it creates clogs. They said, just be careful. And I was like, what in the entire fuck does that mean? Be careful.
to be careful while flushing a toilet. You shouldn't have to flush a toilet like you're detonating a bomb. Yeah, like you should have to touch it like, ooh. You shouldn't have to like push it a little bit and then be like, was that too much?
But yeah, like I won't go nuts with it. It's like, and like, listen, I know there are places that do that. It depends on the pipe system. It depends on the placement, blah, blah. But you got to warn a guy. That's got to be in the listing.
That also
that
gives you-
has to be in the listing.
It gives you no confidence
In anything.
the-
In anything in the place.
the water is clean.
It gives me
then
no confidence the ceiling might not just fall. Like, I don't know, especially with that kid running.
I mean, it did fall. A little piece of it fell.
That's, honestly
Yeah.
true.
I also think that when you are getting an Airbnb, you obviously want the pictures to be accurate. My favorite Airbnb that a friend even stayed in, my buddy stayed in this thing, and he was telling me about it. I felt so bad because I told him he could stay with me, but
Could have told me that.
this is a different time in my life.
I know, I'm kidding.
I basically was in this situation where I was still living with Jeff and Amy,
Okay.
and Buddy came to stay, and then he was about to move into an apartment, but then in the interim, he was like, oh, let me move out a little early. Maybe I can get to the apartment early. And I was like, okay, if you're sure. and he Airbnb'd from this guy. I don't even know how Airbnb will let you list things for like a suspicious amount of money. So they'll let them get very expensive. Obviously, there are people. Yeah. There are people. I didn't even know this. There are people, rich people, whose Malibu homes they will put on Airbnb for like actually an affordable rate if you all use the rooms.
You'll see like houses in like picturesque parts of the country that are like $500 like for a night.
I'm talking about a mansion,
right?
Where as long as you bring enough people to use every room that's in there,
right,
you'll be able to afford it.
Right. Yeah.
So 500 per person for 15 people. Right. So obviously that's a lot of money per night. But like, hey, if you had 1,500 and I had 1,500, we want to stay 3 nights at a mansion, and we just had to get every friend that we've ever had that we don't think will ruin anything to come with us. I had to whittle it down. I don't want to say every friend we ever had, because now it sounds like we only have 6 friends apiece. But basically, he stayed at this Airbnb, and when he got to he knew it was going to be small because the pictures were a little blurry. So he was like, okay, whatever I'm signing up for isn't good.
Yeah.
And it was also $20 a night. So he's also like, this is crazy. And this is also early days of Airbnb too.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people don't know. I maybe people knew about Airbnb, but a lot of people weren't using it as regularly. Like now we actually compare Airbnbs to hotels. So we'll be like, let me see how much a hotel is. Let me see how much an Airbnb is. This is before we got to that stage as people.
Right, yeah.
So this is still when you had to kind of know what Airbnb was.
What Airbnb was, how to spot like what's
a deal
what's a scam. What's a scam, what's real.
And so the pictures were very blurry. Goes over there and it's a tent for the $20 a night in the backyard.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Is a tent in the backyard, and the guy doing the $20 tent in the backyard, there's 2 other tents. So you're not even in a tent alone in the backyard. There are other tent people there.
And nowhere on the listing it said it was a tent at all.
Didn't seem like it.
Fucking
and so then
wild.
So then he's in his tent, and he's like, it's actually not that bad. Like, it's obviously bad. But he's like, hey, I'm new to New York. I'm like, he's also very young at the time.
Was it like in the city too?
No, I think it was in Brooklyn.
But I mean, like in New York proper though.
Yeah,
like you're in Brooklyn in a tent in someone's yard.
Yeah. I mean, the craziest part of this story is that someone has a backyard. I think you're getting caught up on little details.
I mean,
you're getting caught up on tents and like. Anyway.
I mean, I don't know.
So basically,
fuck me for getting caught up on the tent. Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
Yeah,
I'm like, I can't believe someone tried to rent out a tent.
So basically, this dude is in the tent, and then the guy who's listing the Airbnb and has all the like tent people out there comes to his tent in the middle of the night and then just starts chatting with him, just starts like talking to him, which he was like, this can't be going anywhere good, you know? And then while he was talking to him, a guy comes to the backyard who must have just let himself in the house. I have no idea, but comes to the backyard and is like selling this dude drugs in front of the tent. And so he's like, man, this guy's not even trying to like cover it. Like, he must not care about reviews at all. Cause you lied that I'd be inside. I'm inside a tent.
Right, yeah.
And then you're selling, you're buying drugs in front of me. Directly in front of me too.
Right.
And then the funny thing to me, he was like, imagine if I did drugs. I'd be so offended. You just bought drugs in front of me. Didn't even offer me some sort of deal in or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not even making that a part of like, hey, listen, I know I'm making you stay in a tent, but I got this rock.
Yeah. No, man. That was like properly bad. I felt bad for him. He was there for like 3 nights or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
A full on tent. And then there was one where this is when I was on the college tour, and I think I was going to, it was in New Hampshire. Was it Keene? I can't remember where I was in New Hampshire, but I was still doing a little bit of the couch surfing. Do you ever use couch surfing?
No.
Okay. Do you know what it is, though?
I've heard of it,
Yeah,
but I
so
never used it.
I was still using couch surfing. I only used it a couple times because it was very hard for me to get reviews, because when people don't know you, they're nervous about letting you stay in their apartment, especially for free. And like, so then I kept trying to like throw in perks. So I'd be like, hey, if you let me stay, I can get you tickets to my show, or I can, you know, whatever the thing was that would help.
Right.
And so I was in New Hampshire. I was looking up places to stay next because I realized I hadn't planned a hotel yet.
Oh, okay.
And I also was still, this is like earlier in the tour, so I don't have the money to really like, I'll just stay at whatever's close when I get there.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
this is still a point in my life where I had to like meticulously plan ahead, and I had let this extra day slip through the cracks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I had to like, okay, I'm going to take a bus here to here, and I'm going to like all that routing stuff, which I was also scared to do. Like, I ended up paying more because I kept putting it off because I was so scared to do it and get it wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had let a date in New Hampshire slip through the cracks. So I'm already in New Hampshire, and I have to take a Greyhound in the morning for like an hour and a half to get to this next place.
Yeah.
And it's also just so funny because you think of life so differently now, not just because of where a person is like in relation to where they used to be, but also because of what we have now. So like at that time, I didn't even fully understand Airbnb. I knew about couch surfing.
Right.
I didn't even really like try to counter the bus with anything. So I was just like, buses are cheap. Just hopped on a bus. So I'm taking this bus, and as I'm like looking up couch surfing things, I'm like, man, no one's responded to me in time. So I'm gonna have to like maybe get this Airbnb thing people have been talking about.
Right.
And so that might have been the first time I actually put my credit card on Airbnb.
Oh, okay.
So I think I'd looked up Airbnb before, but this is the first time I've like, okay, I'm gonna have to do it because I can't afford a hotel day of.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not just gonna sleep in the bus station or something.
Right.
And so I start looking up some Airbnbs in the area, and that's how I knew I was in a bad area. These were horrible in the picture.
Yeah,
If
they're bad in the picture,
they were so bad in the picture that I was like, this is. There was one place that I looked at, I was like, this is drugs. Only drugs could yellow a wall like that.
yeah.
Like, it was like, it got to the point where I was like, for you to put it on here, it had to at least used to have been good.
Right. Either there was no filter on the phone that could fix this color, or you don't know how to do that, and therefore you can't be a trustworthy management.
Yeah, there was a place where and these are the pictures they're showing you. So they could elect to like try to hide something till you get there. So the pictures they're showing look like someone's been putting out cigarettes just anywhere.
Right.
Like anywhere. And these places are like $45 a night, $50 a night, whatever. And so I'm looking at the prices and I'm like, man, I can't do it though. Like I was like in my head, I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Then someone happened to respond that day from couch surfing. I ended up getting to crash on someone's couch. But that saved me from what we're definitely going to be like. No, there was one that was just a dorm. And in the listing of the thing, it was like, "This is my dorm." Like it was like someone was openly trying to get everyone to keep their secret. They were like, "This is my dorm. Just don't like blow my cover." Essentially,
right,
is what they were saying.
Especially in those early days, there was a lot of like, because people were just doing it in like apartments where they didn't own the apartment; they were just staying in it.
Yeah.
Going on there, like I think now it's more rigorous how you get. I think approved or whatever. Because I remember an apartment I had, people were just like, "Why don't you just Airbnb that room?" I don't own it. The owner's family lives downstairs. Like that just sounds like I'm going to absolutely get caught. And the lease says no Airbnb.
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
And also like Airbnb, like I guess just put this out there, like it's not good for like neighborhoods and stuff. So it's like,
but like
but sometimes I gotta save money.
It was so rampant. It was so rampant that every place in every state started putting whether or not you could Airbnb your place. It's rare that you get something that's that bad that it makes everyone collect, because no law got passed to make people say you have to tell people whether or not you want the Airbnb. Everyone just started being like, this is chaos.
Yes.
So I'm personally just gonna say don't Airbnb it, and then that spread like crazy.
Yeah. Because it's because now it's like it's just inviting so much into your home, like or a building you own.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I see that there are better deals. Like there are cheaper ones I could get to that are like it's just a room in someone's place, and I don't fuck with that. So like I never would have done the couch surfing one anyway. I just like my own space too much. And
the couch surfing one is so interesting because it's such a community, and I really appreciate everyone that let me stay with them. I only used it maybe 4 or 5 times in between hotels and Airbnbs and stuff, because then sometimes, like as you know, the college will also sometimes have a hotel for you.
Yeah.
So then that also helped me because I was like, okay, if I couch surf for the 2 days before I already have a hotel, then I'm like only making money this entire time.
Right.
I only have to worry about my food and the transportation, which I had already planned before I left New York. So I was like in a good spot. And yeah, luckily I didn't really have anybody that was weird on couch surfing. Like everyone was pretty much like, I would even ask them, I was like, why do you do this? And then they were like, well, one time I was like stranded in Finland and just a stranger saw me sitting at the bus stop and then let me stay at their place. And ever since then I've been trying to like pass it forward or whatever. And I was like, wow. It was honestly the most altruistic reasons I've ever heard for people doing that.
And I have a feeling you're more likely to be the recipient of crazy, if weirdness if you're the renter rather than the rentee. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because most people who are doing that are probably like, either someone just wants the extra money. They're clearly chill enough to just have someone in their house.
But couch surfing, you don't have to pay.
Oh, it's just
that's
just nice then. That's
what I'm saying.
That is just a nice community.
That's why I was like, this is crazy.
I thought that was like a rent a couch thing. I never did it. I'd heard of it. I never realized it was just literally just crash on couches. That's nice.
Yeah, there's one of them that you're renting the couch, but then the one that I did was straight up. That's why it was so hard to get people to respond sometimes, because like it's not like people were on it all the time. Some people almost kind of used it like a little bit Facebooky in a way, where they like especially if they were world travelers, because I think the way that it started was world travelers trying to help each other out. Like, I live in the Netherlands.
Right.
So anyone in our community that comes to the Netherlands can stay with me as long as too many of you don't come at the same time.
Yeah.
So then to jump into that is very hard, because you have to get a lot of reviews for people to trust you.
Yeah.
Especially because it's free.
Yes. Okay.
And
that
so
does add a whole new element to it. That makes it nicer, but then probably does make it. You got to be a little.
That's why I was like,
cagier.
Yeah, I was a little scared. Like I remember the first time I fell asleep at one, I was like, "This is it. I should have just spent that $80." And like, now I'm about to. be murdered.
Yeah. I don't know. And you know my everyone does my general dislike of strangers and getting to know people. So crashing on just people's couches. I don't know. There'd be too much pressure. It'd be like, how much do I have to talk to you? How much do I have to like?
I remember,
because I'm not rude. I'm not a rude person, but I like my quiet too. I like to just.
What's the James Franco movie? This one will really bother you. This whole thing. I've talked about this for way too long already. But this story is going to make you very upset. One second.
Okay.
1 second.
The James Franco movie.
Not actually. I don't think you'll actually be angry, but this is. Give me 1 second.
I'm too exhausted to be truly angry about anything right now.
Okay, so the James Franco and Jonah Hill movie True Story?
I've heard of it.
Okay. I watched that movie with someone I was couch surfing with, and it was just this very sweet, like incredibly sweet out of a movie, little tiny old woman that that had done like couch surf. She had got on the couch surfing thing, and like,
yeah, someone's got a big dick. All right,
I'm not saying that this is the reason, but this is what it felt like. So I'm not saying she's not a sad person. She was very happy. But it did seem like she would do Airbnb and couch surfing, which is why her couch surfing is even nicer, because she can make money off of renting the room and whatever. And sometimes she just chooses to like let somebody stay for free, if, you know. And basically we hung out for like a whole day. It was like,
see, that's the thing. This has Josh Johnson written all over it. This whole situation. This dude, I've talked before about how long he just will talk to just like people at the reception desk at hotels, and that's a good thing about you. I'm just saying this is a very much a Josh Johnson adventure app.
We hung out all day because I got in right, and so I get in and man, okay, so just from off the rip. I think that's a fridge.
Oh, is that the I was like, that's just a new one. I was like, that's coming from that way.
So just off top, I get in and I message her if I can come by a little bit earlier, because I was like, hey, I want to just make sure I take a quick nap before my show and everything. And I know I'm getting in early in the day, so when's a good time to check in and stuff?
Yeah.
And then she was like, oh, you can come by whenever. I'm just hanging out. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I get to the apartment and she lets me in, and her daughter is leaving.
Okay.
So her and her daughter had been having lunch, I guess, and her daughter's leaving. And then I sit down and she's like, we have some leftover sandwiches if you want anything. Can I feed you? I was like, oh no, I'm good. It was like hang out with my grandma. And then she just kept trying to feed me. And then we were sitting there. We were sitting there, and she started just telling me stories about her family. And it was, before I knew it, it had been an hour. And I was just like, man, this lady's like the coolest.
Yeah.
And she was like, do you have any errands you want to run or anything? Like, I was like, oh yeah, I actually do need to go to CVS. And so we went to CVS together. We went to CVS together, and so we go to CVS, and
I do not know how you haven't been kidnapped. Like, I don't know how someone truly hasn't taken you hostage.
But
wonder into these scenarios a lot.
But she's so little. It was hilarious too, because she had a little. It wasn't a donut. But I guess she had an injury, and so she had a little cushion on the driver's seat. But then the cushion also seemed like it was helping her see over the steering wheel. So it looked like it was just serving dual purpose, like, because she was like, now you'll have to be patient with me. I walk a little slow because I fell. And the way I had to try not to laugh when she was telling me, because I really didn't want to offend her, because by now we're like chilling, we're like buds,
you're
right?
best friends now, yeah.
And so then she was like, oh, I fell because, and I've seen something like this happen before, so it makes sense. But basically, she fell, and then she tried to get up quick. She said she felt like if she got up fast enough, she wasn't hurt. And so she fell.
That
is
perfect, like old person logic.
Yeah, you know, like when you're like, it's like when you're a kid and you trip, but you're embarrassed, and you're like, no, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good. You try to save it.
Yeah.
And she fell, and she tried to get up so fast that she fell again. Oh. And that's where she really did the damage. And so she was walking a little slow and had like a little bit of a wiggle to, compensate. And he goes, the doctor says I'm going to make a full recovery, but I mean, at my age, what does that even mean?
Yeah, she sounds badass.
Yeah, she was like, if you do your best, you'll still have a 70-year-old hip. And so we go to CVS, and she's like giving me like mild to hot goss on everybody at the CVS. This is a small-ish town.
Oh, okay.
And so she was like, "Oh, the cashier there used to work at Arby's, but her service was terrible."
See right there. That is why she rents out the couch.
Yeah.
She just wanted people to gossip with.
Yeah.
And clearly,
Her daughter's heard all of it already.
Her daughter's heard all of it, and if she's talking shit about everyone, she probably don't have a lot of friends. So, so I'm gonna just let people stay on my couch.
Yeah. But no, she would tell me, so it was the full benefit of a nosy old woman, because she was telling me about people we were passing in the car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, we would be passing people in the car on the
That's
sidewalk.
great.
She'd be like, "Oh, Hill right there, he was." I was like, yeah, because like I also don't care, but also I only saw the back of his head, so
Yeah.
it's not like we talked to him and then she's walking. Like,
I have no perspective on him. I have
Yeah.
not seen this man. I didn't know he was there.
yeah, like at least the cashier like dropped her cookie tin. Like when she was telling me about the cashier, I was like, oh, that sparked a little memory because of the awkward thing that just happened.
Yeah.
Because she, to be fair to my older friend, the cashier did it was kind of a boss move because it worked for me and then it didn't work for her. So she rang everything up. This is her process, right? The cashier rang everything up and then opened one bag and then tried to slide everything, like scoop everything in the bag. And so I got a bunch of snacks and like a new toothbrush and some stuff. And so for me, it worked because it was like everything I got was small. And then this woman that I'm staying with got many more things.
Right.
And she still tried it. And so most of it just missed the bag.
Yeah. You can't do it with a gallon of milk. You can't.
She's just like scooping it off the counter, and then it just starts falling. And then as it's falling, she keeps scooping because she's like, some of it's gonna land in there.
Yeah.
And then so then we go back. I invite her to the show.
Okay.
Which she was like, oh, if I come, I'll have to like come a bit later, or you like first or whatever, and like all that stuff. And so she was nice enough to drop me off at the college and was like, I can pick you back up if you want, and blah blah. And I'll definitely, you can ride with me if if I do come to the show.
Also, I pinned my number to your shirt.
Yeah.
So if you get lost, just tell someone to call that.
There's a sign on your back that says you're my son.
Here's a baggie.
And so
Got
then
a sandwich in there for you.
I do the show, and I can't remember if she came or not, sadly, because that would be very sweet if she came. Anyway, but I take an Uber back because I just don't, hear from her or anything. And yeah, she must not have come because she opened the door when she. Anyway, but then we get back inside, and she's watching, maybe it was HBO or Showtime, and she's like, a movie's about to come on, do you want to watch? And we just watched True Story with James Franco and Jonah Hill, and she just kept gushing on James Franco the entire time. Like, she was like, she would just turn to me and be like, I know he's a murderer in this one, but he's dreamy.
Luckily, he ended up being very cool in real life too.
Yeah it's it's clearly her Hollywood crush. And then we watched the whole thing, and then
She had to be bummed a couple years ago. If she's still with us.
I guess so. Yeah. Maybe she didn't.
Maybe she passed to miss the fall of James Franco.
What if she wanted it that way? What if she was like, I'd rather die than hear a bad word said about James Franco.
Lose my James Franco.
Yeah. So yeah, we watched True Story, and I'll never
What's that one about?
forget that. That was like very cool. She was like a great stay.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good story. I like that a lot. So maybe I do need to I don't know, involve myself in people's lives instead of under them.
I guess so. I mean, it's also gone poorly. Like,
Oh, for sure.
like there have been times where
I know. I listened to this show. I know your stories are a real 50-50. Of either something great happens or something inexplicable happens.
So the next Airbnb that you're going to, has this given you pause? Are you nervous now?
A little, because it's not that far away from the one I'm in now. And the pictures of it, it's a weird setup, but
Yeah.
it does have some amenities. Like, I mean, mainly it has air conditioning, so like that will make me happy. And windows, because it's not a basement unit. So I'll just probably be less just depressed. And this one does have windows in the bedroom, and it looks straight out to garbage. It just looks out straight into the back of the garbage cans. Not even the pile of garbage, but like just the cans are there in front of the windows. So it's not really a view.
So I have one more
Okay.
Airbnb horror that I think
Scarebnb?
maybe we should just stop.
That
the
was a
episode
good one. That
now.
was a good pun.
I'm not even saying it wasn't good. I'm saying that maybe, we both had a long day.
Right. You're saying nothing can top it. Nothing can top Scarebnb. So we should probably quit while we're ahead is what you're saying. That's what Josh is saying.
Why don't we go out of focus for a second?
Because the light is going away, so it's having trouble.
Oh, whoops. Okay.
It's having a little trouble focusing on both of us. Yeah, let's get real close now.
Yeah, my bad. Did I mess it up by leaning back?
No, that was
Okay.
fine. I was leaning back. I think I was the first one to lean back.
So now there's a light there, so this will be over soon.
Yeah. That's a really hip ice cream truck.
God, this ice cream is really hot. Do they put a lot of cinnamon in it, or? Oh, my mouth's on fire.
My God.
So basically, I have a friend. Just for all intents and purposes, let's call him Benny, just so that we can keep the story straight. Okay.
Now, Benny or Benny?
Let's call him Sam. Dick. So Sam was getting an Airbnb because he had to stay for a friend's wedding a couple extra days.
Okay.
And so it was basically him staying with his friends in a hotel for like 3 nights.
Right.
But then whenever they needed to stay a bit longer, he couldn't float it, so he was downgraded to an Airbnb that was cheaper than splitting the hotel that they were at. Because I guess they got a group deal for everyone that was in the wedding, but then the extra stay wasn't covered by the wedding.
Yeah.
And so
yeah, because you only get that deal when you're blocking off a bunch of rooms. So it's like you're still putting a lot of money into the hotel, but yeah.
Yeah, and so he stayed for the wedding and then stayed a couple extra days for business and stuff.
Okay.
And he's staying at this Airbnb, and this woman is renting it from the upstairs. So she's upstairs, kind of like your situation. She's upstairs, and then downstairs is the Airbnb. Mm-hmm. And while he's there, this guy knocks on the door. He comes to the door, and the guy is like, "Who the hell are you?" And
Jesus.
And Sam is like, I'm staying at the Airbnb. He's like, "Oh, really?" And he's like, yeah? Like, what? Who are you? Like, that thing where someone starts interrogating you and it takes you a second to be like, wait, why am I answering your questions?
Yeah,
you know?
You have no authority over me, I think.
And then the guy at the door is like, "That I'm asking because there's no Airbnb here." And he's like, "Yeah, there is. It's on Airbnb. I rented it. I got the keys from the person upstairs, blah, blah." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And then he goes to around, which I guess is how you get to the first floor or whatever.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then the person he rented from comes down, and then he walks back up to him with the woman that gave him the keys, like, "Who is this?" And she's like, "He's renting the Airbnb." And he's like, "There's no Airbnb here." And she's like, "Yes, there is." And then then the guy is like, "So you're not lying to me, are you?" Like, to him. And he's like, "No." And then she's like, stop it. And he's like, you're not lying to me either, right? And you're like, no. And then finally he's like, who is this person? And she says, this is my ex-husband. And then he's like, husband.
There's the whole story in that one assertion.
Yeah.
That is the entire story.
And so he's just standing there now while they argue if there's an Airbnb there. So then
And now they got to argue if they're still married.
Yeah. And so he never got the full story, but he's like, this guy probably thought I was like...
Here to have sex with his wife.
Yeah.
Which is clearly a suspicion already on his mind.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is, how do you leave a good review after that? Like, how do you leave a...
Yeah.
Because you're scared for a second. Because you're like... Because the guy didn't just go like, oh, okay, and then walk away. He was like, oh...
Right.
All right. It's like he just walked away.
Maybe he was really hoping to be able to stay in the basement for their trial separation, and now this is confirmation that he will not be able to do that.
Now this is just horrible.
You also can't, someone say, this is my ex-husband. You can't just go, no, husband. Like, that doesn't fix it.
No, it really doesn't.
That does nothing.
So, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'll continue avoiding people. I've gone full circle.
I didn't want to skew you and like fill your,
You want to give me optimism for people.
Yeah, no, not worth it.
Should we open up the mailbag quick?
Let's do it.
What do you want to go? We got some new ones, or should we do some of the ones that were for our 100th?
Maybe we do one old, one new.
101 new? Okay. Yeah. Let's see, how old do we want to go here? We'll do this one. This isn't like old, but this is from a month back. But this is from Kyle, and it says the title is Fair Fish. And then this is interesting. You got this angle looking.
Just
at
my
me
neck
now.
was starting to hurt.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's starting to hurt bad, and I've been trying to handle it the entire time, and it's been almost an hour.
We could have done this.
No,
from the beginning.
It's fine.
Do you want me to turn this way to you too?
You don't have to, because you have to read.
Well, I can.
Why would you do it like that?
I don't know, man.
That's.
But it says, hey, J-Lo, thought you'd like to hear that I once won the healthiest and strongest fair goldfish to ever live when I was 13 years old. Fair goldfish have come up a few times on this show. So
yeah.
I didn't know this thing would last longer than 2 weeks, so I named him Dinner.
That's dope.
That's a great name.
Wow.
Well, he lived for over 6 years. He survived the harrowing experiences of, and now there's a little bullet point list. 1, living in a tiny bowl for 2 years. We changed the water weekly by scooping him up in a ladle and keeping him in a soup bowl until the fresh water was conditioned. 2, overfeeding him. So just 3, my older brother feeding him crushed up Oreos.
That's a dope life, though.
This fish sounds like he's actually doing, like, that's why he kept fighting. He's like, I love these. This is great. Dessert fish food they give me.
Yeah.
The same older brother chasing him with a letter opener. So I'm assuming that means just putting it in the water and trying to...
And just like spinning it around.
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
That's just stirring.
Yeah.
We got him an actual tank-like bowl with a lid to protect him from my psychopath brother. And then finally, a glow stick accidentally leaking into his water. What kind of...
This is probably, like, in fish heaven, he party the hardest. Like,
Yeah.
he's
got
seen
the
things
stories.
other goldfish have never seen.
He finally died when I went to college and my dad was away for the week and my mom, quote, didn't know she was supposed to feed him. She apparently thought he was a plant and not a living water being. R.I.P. Dinner. Love y'all, Kyle.
That goldfish might still be alive if it hadn't been for his mother's negligence.
Yeah.
This is the closest thing to a murder.
You need to hold that over her forever. That's what you need to do. And let me look for, let's see, a new one here. Okay. This is real recent. So this is from, where's the name? I guess Don. And the title is Ayo, Heyo, Hello, J-Lo. So
wow, fire.
Points on that title.
Fire.
I was introduced to Josh's comedy via a random ad to my work playlist years ago of his earliest album, I Like You, and have been hooked into his hilarity ever since. Like many have already said before, Logan is the perfect component. I think I'm the perfect component. Okay, so I'm the only thing working about this.
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, maybe they mean opponent, but yeah.
I thought companion, but opponent's probably good too. Logan is the perfect component in this podcast for Josh, with his unhinged laughter, antagonizing, and overall love and concern for his totes bestie. Come on. Love you.
It looks like there's more there.
There's not. Let's just sit in this for a second.
That's not necessary.
I took my mom and brother to see Trevor Noah at the Foxwood Casino in Connecticut and completely forgot that you opened for him. When you were introduced, I lost my shit and couldn't stop shaking and yelling at my bro and mom in excitement, telling them how hyped I was to see you live and in person. Wish I could have hung out there long enough to have raced you on that indoor go-kart track.
Oh, yeah.
Was there an indoor track there?
Did I not tell you about this?
Was that what we talked about last
I
time?
thought we talked about it, but...
I guess I didn't know it was indoor.
Yeah, yeah.
But
indoor.
okay, so from that recent episode.
Yeah.
There you go. I live in PA, but I won't be able to see y'all at the Punchline in Philly next week because I work second shift during the weekdays, and that weekend I'll be in DC cosplaying at an anime convention.
Okay.
Quit your job. Do the anime convention. Quit your job. Come on out. Nothing but the best of luck to you both, and hope to meet y'all face to face one day. Rating 69 nice weebs out of 5 weebs.
Thank you so much, Don.
P.S. question.
Yeah.
Have either of you attended any conventions, whether an anime, game, etc.? And who would y'all be willing to cosplay as if you did? Have you ever been to an anime convention or comic book convention?
Yeah, I've been to a couple. What did I go to? I went to one that was in Lafayette, Louisiana. I can't remember the name of it. And I think I've been to something called, I can't remember what it was. It was like half comic books, half old. Like it was a comic book convention, but it was like half like comic books and then half old, super old like TV nostalgia stuff. So they'd be like, I was an extra on Knight Rider, that thing.
Oh, okay, yeah, just kind of a regular
but I have
convention.
been to one. I've been to 2 technically because I went to Comic-Con in 2016, the New York Comic-Con.
Oh, okay.
And then I went to that one in Lafayette in like 2009 maybe.
Okay.
But yeah.
I've never been to a comic book. I don't think I've been to any convention like that. Do car shows count? We go to car shows with my dad a lot, so that's like a car convention.
It's not really the same thing at all, but
people are dressed up there like
like
hillbillies. I think that's just how they dress. But
yeah, this whole thing is not car convention Comic-Con.
Okay, but now to answer the second part of that question, though, who would you cosplay as?
Someone said, who's the electric shock superhero that's not Black Lightning? It's Static Shock. Yeah, people have said I look like Static Shock.
What's he from?
I think DC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Pretty
sure DC.
Okay.
What about you?
Who would I cosplay as? I don't know. What could I pull off? Some kind of sitcom dad.
I think maybe like a dad from Yes Dear.
I don't know, Mark Baker from Perfect Strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I could probably, if I cut some hair, I could do early season Hopper from Stranger Things, maybe back when he was when he was still thicker.
Did he get skinny?
Yeah, he's skinny now. Well, because he got ripped for.
I'm very behind.
That's all right. Well, yeah, he's ripped this season. They worked in the storyline, but also he got ripped for the Black Widow movie. And
when you say ripped, do you mean like pants ripped from all the weight that he gained?
No,
he's very big in Black Widow. He's like out of shape in Black Widow.
But he's like way thinner than he was. Maybe he lost it for for Stranger Things then. But no, he's much thinner now than he was.
I like to think some
He's way more
actors.
fit because he had a gut though, like in the early days of Stranger Things, and now he's pretty fit now because he did it for Hellboy too. I guess Hellboy is probably what he bulked up for, is what he got.
Yeah, because I like to think that some actors just get fit for them.
I mean, I think that ends up being the like bonus.
Yeah.
I'm sure but it helps if someone else is like kind of footing the bill for it. But that was kind of like everyone always thought that Kumail Nanjiani got ripped because like Marvel made him, but like they didn't care. They wanted him to just be him, but he's like, nah, I'm gonna get
jacked.
So like that's another thing for him to just be like, nah, don't worry, I'm gonna get ripped.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for listening to the Josh Johnson Show. We had a great time recording. I hope you had a great time listening. If you are looking to catch up with us on any of the socials, you can find me at Josh Johnson Comedy on Instagram, Josh J Comedy on Facebook, Josh Johnson on Twitter, and Josh Johnson Comedy on TikTok and YouTube, where we're going to be posting clips of the show. And if you're looking for Logan,
you can follow me on Instagram at Logan M. Nielsen. And if you want to get into the mailbag like those people there, you can email us joshjohnsonshow@gmail.com. And if, say, I don't know, next week, let's say Wednesday, the 27th, around 10 p.m.-ish, if you feel like meeting us in person, you can come out to Union Hall in Brooklyn. We are doing a live, in-person Josh Johnson show. So we're going to do some stand-up, and then we're also going to do a full episode. We're going to do a full recording of us doing the show with an audience. We did it last year, and it was an absolute delight.
And if you can't make it to that, if you can't be at that,
sadly you're busy next Wednesday or something
because you're in Philly, we're going to be in Philly right after that.
Oh my God, for 3 whole days.
Yeah, in Philly for 3 whole days from the 27th to what?
28th to the 30th is what we're doing shows. So
and
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You got 1 show on Thursday. You got 2 shows Friday and Saturday. That's 5 chances to so in that chunk of days, that's 6 chances to come see us in person.
And if you don't do it, you just didn't wanna. You know,
you just didn't want it bad enough. And we all know it. You won't be a champion like the child that is above me at my Airbnb.
We hope to see you there. Thanks so much for listening, and have a great rest of the week.
Y'all are the best. See you later.